So if you guys are new to my channel, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoy it. And consider subscribing and hit that bell if you like what you see. Today is gonna be a little bit of a sad one, at least for me, because I'm saying goodbye to my Lambo, the Fast and Furious Murcielago that I built up over the course of almost a year. It went to SEMA, it went to Amelia Island. It's been all over the country. You guys have seen it in plenty of videos. And now it's gonna go to its new, not permanent home. It's definitely a sort of vacation for this car. This is going to the world famous Petersen Automotive Museum in LA. And I'm super excited because it's gonna be a photo op for you guys. You guys can check out this car anytime you want. Just go down to the Petersen Museum and you can take a picture with it. You can check out the quality of the craftsmanship or lack thereof. And you can see what this car is like in the flesh or in the metal or in the carbon. So right now I'm actually waiting on the transport truck to get here so I can load this thing up and it's gonna make its way over to LA. But I'm getting a little bit misty-eyed because I'm gonna miss this car and I miss the experience that it was to put this car together. So I've arranged a little bit of a montage to get you guys up to speed and kind of remind you how far we've come along on this little orange Lambo. So I would be remiss if I didn't take it on one last drive before it goes on its almost year-long vacation. So let's go do that. Oh my. Oh, that's a sound. Oh, yes. I'm sorry, it's pretty hard to talk. Oh, wow. The microphone just fell off. All right, so now that we're on the road, you can notice two things. Number one, this car is very, very loud. I'm having to yell to even hear myself. Number two, I am sweating even though I have the AC on, and that's because the AC kind of lost its charge. No idea how that happened. Usually Italian cars are so good with things like this. But let me tell you, I don't really care. Some of you may think that I haven't driven this car much, but that's not true. This car went to SEMA, and then from SEMA in Las Vegas, it drove to LA, where I had a lot of fun driving it all over the canyons. Then from LA, it was taken to Atlanta, from which I drove it back here, and a 6 to 7 hour drive in this car, it might sound like fun. It's fun the first 20 minutes or so, and then you're just, well, you're basically rendered deaf because this thing has such an incredibly loud drone on the highway that it's ear-piercingly loud. But these are the kinds of things that happen when you own a car like this. A lot of people think that this car is hard to drive. It's intimidating. I mean, it does look intimidating, and yes, it is quite expensive if something breaks, but it really isn't hard to drive. I'm at a stoplight, just turned green, clutch in, that's it. Very smooth clutch. The gear changes are like a rifle bolt. There's nothing that comes close to that sound. I don't care if it's a Zonda or it's F-Spots, S-Class, nothing comes close to this. I mean, I'm at 3,500 RPM and it sounds like that. I'm nowhere near redline. This is one of the greatest V12s of all time. Now, I believe somebody was in this car before me because my legs are sort of in the wrong position, a little further up than they need to be. So, let's tilt this seat back. Well, tilt the seat forward and bring this seat back. I think, yeah, there we go. Now my legs don't hit the stalks when I turn. Actually, they still hit the stalks. Maybe that's just a Lamborghini thing. Or maybe this needs to come up a bit. Oh, there we go. That's much better. And now I can't see the gauge cluster. Just Italian car things. One thing that's interesting about this car is the fact that it gets so much attention. Now, there is an officer of the law behind me, just to my left, and this is a very loud, very orange, very wide, and very obnoxious Lamborghini. Hi, officer. So I figured since we're driving this thing sort of normally, I'm gonna head to Advance Auto to get some supplies to make sure that when this thing goes to the museum, they're gonna have everything that they need to make it nice and shiny, because sometimes these museum cars, they get fingerprints on them, they get scratches. This car is coated with clarity coat. However, I don't want to take any chances, so we're gonna get a few things that's gonna make this car even better. Alright, so we just left Advance. I got some microfiber towels and a ceramic detailer. So I can leave that with the car in case they need to get rid of any smudges or what have you. One interesting thing is that since I started the car, I noticed that it's a little bit of smoke coming from the engine bay. And I'm not saying smoke, it could be steam because this car was recently washed, so it could just be water because the engine bay is open, but it's just one of the things that you have to worry about with an Italian car. So one of the things nobody tells you about these sorts of cars is that they are much better when they're actually driven. People think that these Ferraris and Lamborghinis, they need to be put in a garage and never driven hard. The people that really drive their cars know that they are way better when they've had some regular exercise, much like the human body. Now, while I may need some regular exercise, this car doesn't, because every time I take it out, I give it an Italian tune-up. And now the car runs great. So much. So you guys can head to the Petersen in a little bit of time and you'll be able to see this either in the vault or on its own display. And that is just insane to me. That is absolute insanity to think that me, who came from just working on cars in his driveway, now has a museum quality example of this world famous car. That's a lot. That means so much. Hope you guys can see this car and enjoy it and appreciate what it took to make. All right, one more. And go. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Okay, so let's take this out. I don't think they're gonna need this where it's going. All right, so I picked up this Meguiar's hybrid ceramic detailer. It's supposed to increase shine and also increase longevity of the shine, so we're just gonna try it out. I've never tried this before, and it's really easy to apply. Just spray it on. Actually, I'm gonna spray it on to my microfiber towel and then apply it to the car, and I'm just gonna get rid of all these like fingerprints and whatnot because I want this car to be super, super shiny. All right, now that all the fingerprints are off, it looks really good. Now, it wasn't dirty to begin with. This is going to a museum after all, but man, I'm just gonna miss this car so much.
That looks like I'm centered on both sides.
Yeah, that looks pretty centered.
Centered?
Yeah. You're good. Yeah, you're good. Goodbye, old friend. All right, there she is. It's loaded up, ready to go to LA, and I'm gonna miss it so much. It's not the easiest thing to get out of that car when it's in that position, but I did it, and it's, guys, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, this was such a huge project, and I hope that you guys can appreciate that project at the Petersen Museum. I'm very excited for you guys to go see it. It's going to be in their new supercar hypercar exhibit. I don't know when that's coming out, but it should be coming out at some point in the near future. I will give you an update on that when it happens. But until next time, this is me reminding you guys that on cars like the one up there, you guys need to build it better, and to do that, you need to wrench every day.